To finish off the soul evolution, God nature, and just basically leaving the godly things to godly people, right? We have all these different competing interests in this world, and everybody feels that they're on the moral high ground. They feel like they're right? So one way to combat this so-called I'm right or this moral high ground position is this. Regardless if you believe in God or if you believe in evil or the devil or whatever, the way you can combat evil, or put a good person that swears they're doing good in their place, is by doing this. Ask them, or show them, not even just ask them, but ask them, if you are so-called doing what you consider to be the right thing, right? Ask them, what are your intentions beyond this right thing? And are you doing evil to get to this right thing? Because if you are, what I meant about asking them and proving it, the proof is that you'll never be able to get good out of doing evil. Ever. It's impossible. It's just an impossible thing. It will not happen. It's just the creation of the energy that joins in with the action will always lead to evil. It just is what it is. It always leads to pain and suffering. And I'll prove that, right? I'll prove that with this example. In this Western world, I made the example about 9/11. So in this Western world earlier, in the video, so what happens is in this Western world, you have the 9/11 happening. So you have like 11 Saudis or something like that. They hijack a plane, multiple planes with like box cutters or whatever, and they fly one of the planes into the Pentagon. They fly one of the planes into two of the Twin Towers in New York City, and then they try to fly another plane into, like, I think the White House they were going to, but it crashes in like Springfield, Pennsylvania, something like that, some place. I forget the actual place, but you had people lining up in droves to join the military in the United States, and their excuse to do that was that they were going to protect America. Like, they wanted to protect America, which is a totally valid and righteous thing. To die for one's country is very, very righteous. Is very valiant. Is very honorable. Dying for what you believe in is very honorable. Dying for your for your family and things like that, just sacrificing for another person, is very honorable. It's a very honorable thing. So they're going to join the military to fight terrorism overseas and stuff like that. So but the thing is that did you did you accomplish your goal? If you were going overseas to defend America and to defend America like from terrorism and fight for your country, did you succeed? Is America safer today than it was pre 9/11? That question is a very important question for people that want to believe that using war, regardless on what strategies you use in war, using war as a form of protection is it solves it really is that's something to think about, because the question really is that are we really safer than we were pre 9/11? I hope that y'all can answer that question for yourself. Then we have, I told you that the hijackers were not even, they were Saudis, so they weren't even and from Afghanistan. They weren't even really mostly from Iraq at all. But then you went to so you went to Afghanistan to find the mastermind. Obviously, Bin Laden. He was in Afghanistan. So you bomb Afghanistan to go after him or whatever. So, but then you go into Iraq. Why? So now that's what now I'm not going to go too far into that. That's really politics. It's going away from the point of this. But it shows you what happens with people with evil intentions. You almost can never get good out of evil intentions. It's just impossible. It's impossible to get. It's impossible to get good out of evil, period. It's just impossible. You know what I'm saying? I will argue that only Allah gets good out of things. Like only God can make the good out of these things. Like real rap. Like I'll give you an example. Like Sodom and Gomorrah. When God, and that's why I say I really don't want to get too religious, because this is for anybody who's not even religious. But Sodom and Gomorrah, what I see right now in our reality right now, God has told Abraham that he was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and Abraham questioned God's decision. He challenged God. He said, hold on, you're going to destroy a whole land? What? Are you serious? Like, no, I'm not going to, I can't agree with that. It has to be good people there. You can't just destroy everybody. And God, mind you, this is somebody challenging God. I mean, Abraham is considered to be the intimate friend of God. You know what I'm saying? So, this is a big deal. You know what I mean? So God says, all right, well, if you want to you could find 5 people that is good. You know what I'm saying? You can find 5 people that is good. I'll spare Sodom and Gomorrah. I'll spare the whole joint. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. And of course, Abraham did not find 5 people in that whole land that was good. That's interesting, right? Because I see people here plotting on other people, right? You have a bunch of people plotting on other people to set them up. They're like, I'm going to set up this person because this person is bad and I believe he's bad, right? Oh, he's a bad person. Let's go get him, right? You got all these people trying to do all this weird stuff. They set people up, right? So they're the ultimate judge, right? Cool. Wow. I probably would feel like Abraham right now if God was to ask somebody today to give him a reason why he wouldn't destroy America or France or Germany or Russia or China or any place. Could you find 5 people in the whole land that is good and I won't destroy it? And I can guarantee you might not be able to find one. So now we're coming back to a fact that we're playing God in so many situations, whether it's the employer trying to see if this worker or employee should be eligible for promotion. So instead of him using, his intuition or things like that, he uses like a trap or something. Then you have people setting people up every day in one way or another. Then you have like a social media stuff where like let's go put this person out there and this person is a bad person and ooh. And then you have other people doing the same thing. You have all this perpetuation of bad, and people are using the guise of good, like I'm doing good, as a way of masking their evil intention. Their intention is just to make sure that this person suffers. Okay. So what are we going to get from that? I can tell you what we're getting from that. We're getting a set of outcasts and a set of incasts. We're getting a set of poor and a set of rich. We're getting a set of popular and a set of not popular. We're getting a set of in or a set of out. It is just literally different classes of people. And people are willing to sacrifice their own self for morality, whatever, to be an in crowd. You see it. You see people literally sacrificing their morals or selling out as fast as possible for cheap, just to be on the in crowd. Under the guise, under the mask of saying that they're doing good. I don't necessarily believe that they understand what good really is. I even will more ask if they even understand what their outcome, what do they want from this? And I think that would be something that should be asked for everybody. When you start to do the things that you do, the steps that you take, what do you want from this? If you're going to join other people to come join with you to go hurt somebody else, what do you want from this? Because that's what that person should be asking. Now, if you just say, yes, I'm going to join, let's join in, we're going to go hurt that person, that's what we want, then, I mean, that's what it is. But you have people not saying that, or not doing that. You have people flat out using God's name or whatever as a way of masking it. And to me, this is where the evil lies. It lies in you masking these things. And you really need to leave the godly things for godly people. Right now, you have people who are in a position to lift the veil over this reality and lift good souls out of this damnation. You do. You have, regardless on your religious sect, you have people that are trying to make it out of this reciprocal nature of reality. And you're walking around destroying their hopes. You're destroying their hopes by your evil. You will not leave people alone. Now, in order to get a godly nature, and I know this from experience, in order to get a godly nature, you have to endeavor suffering. You have to endure suffering, excuse me. I said endeavor. You have to endure suffering. Suffering is something that most people will not do. They will not go through it. You have most people taking the path of least resistance. They will not want to go there. And I don't blame them. Like, nobody is like Jesus, like, yo, come on, yeah, I will, let's crucify me. Come on. Nobody's doing that. Jesus was definitely a short gangster. I mean, he gave that up with no fight. He even told Peter, put your sword away, sheath your sword. Sheath your sword. They came to get Jesus. Let me tell you how bad that story is. You have people that were lying. And this is a normal, what I've found about smear campaigns or things like that, especially what I see on social media nowadays, they're always lying. I have yet to see a smear campaign anywhere, whether on the media, social media, whatever. I have yet to see it be true. And I mean, anybody in the comments can tell me which one is true. But I have yet to see one that is true. Most of the things that are true, you don't need to run around and say, this is true. Most of the things that are true are just true. I mean, self-explanatory. You don't have to really go around and try to sell it. But when I see people trying to sell something, normally that's always my intent is to go up with that. That's normally obviously the easiest way to say that this is not true. There must be something with this. Why are you coming to me with that information? Why are you coming to tell me that? This has to be not true. And most of, what I found in different cultures is that backbiting and slander, not only does it take on its own life and its own energy, but it always condemns the people that are involved in it. Always. That's one of the reasons why I stay away from it. I'm not even involved in that type of nonsense. I don't want nothing to do with that. I need to not be condemned to myself. I have something that I need to do. My soul needs to be evolved. And I'm trying to reach a whole nother level. And I'm not on that type time. But you have this level of nastiness and negativity that feeds off of it. And most of the time it's done by people that don't know what their purpose is. And if you ask somebody what their purpose is and they can't tell you a real answer, like not a general type of, oh, I'm here to be this and like, no. I'm talking about your real solid purpose. Give me some real, something solid. If you don't know what your purpose is or what you're here for, then that person, you need to either set that person, give them like be a guidance to that person, or that person's going to bring you down. In Islam, we always say, who's giving the person the dawah? Like, who's the one leaning on the person? If you are a believer, you're going to lean on the person. You're going to try to give him, be his influence. If not, he's going to be the one influencing you. And that's a very true fact. Birds of a feather flock together. So many different analogies to this, but this is a really true fact. One is going to lean onto the other. That's why like I said, you normally see good people, quote unquote good people, solid people, people with higher spirituality and things like that. They mostly sit with each other. Masters are normally rolling by themselves. And the reason is because it's not that many chosen people out there. We're here to lead humanity singular. There's not that many people like us. To be godly means that you were a person that was like all the prophets, Joseph, Jesus, like I said, Moses, Jonas, Job, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These are people that were backbitten, slandered, tortured, ridiculed, isolated, attacked. These people were attacked by this world. Why? They didn't fit in that box. They weren't evil. And most of the time, the chosen ones are the people who get it the worst. These are the people that suffer the worst, yo. And the people that get the most value or get the most stuff out of this earth, they're the people that are the worst in character. They're the people that are doing the worst evil most of the time. Not saying that every person that has stuff is evil, but for the most part, that's just what it is. And they need people to fuel their machine. This world is fueled by evil, and it feeds off of it. It's almost like food or food that we eat. It's fueling it. It fuels it. And if the good people was to be able to lean and get more people to the good side, we will be able to accomplish more, but we can't. And it's crazy that every teacher taught us this. Buddha, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Jesus alayhi salam, Noah, Moses alayhi salam, Noah alayhi salam, Mithras, Zeus, like any of the, from any teacher, anyone, your swamis, your what's the other ones? Any of the teachers, they teach you this stuff. They teach it to you, and what happens is people they get it like an energy, like a feeling. They get it for a little bit. They're like, oh, I'm going to be good, and then evil, and then evil. Why is that?